Welcome to Let's Talk Jonesboro. I'm Sarah Tipton, joined by Hidda Spencer and the ever wonderful Bill Campbell.
That is the greatest opening in Let's Talk Jonesboro history. Thank you so much. Sarah, you're fabulous.
Thank you.
Some of you probably remember Sarah from our local TV station, and now you have a new title.
I do, yes. I'm the Northeast Arkansas Area Director for Susan G. Komen and Race for the Cure.
That's fabulous because this is only, I think, our third year for Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure.
2019 was the third race. We're going into our fourth race for 2020.
And it's been an incredible success from the get-go. Is that not right?
Amazing.
Fabulous. It has been a wonderful experience overall for Northeast Arkansas, and for just getting the word out about breast cancer awareness and the support we need.
And Hidda is the chair of the 2020 event.
Yes.
So what does that mean? How did you get sold on this, Hidda?
Well, I started out just as a volunteer for the first race and worked within fundraising and teams. And then the second year, I took on a little bit more responsibility as a chairperson for the field stage and the things that happen on race day on the field. And then I had that for the last 2 years. And then this year, because I just have been involved, they asked me if I would join on as the race chair for the 2020 race. And so I'm excited about and really nervous, and you know, all of those things that come with the responsibility of trying to live up to all of the great things that's already happened and push forward and even have a better success this year.
Well, it's been such a success, and I know the people from Little Rock who came and observed us the first time said, "My goodness, what a great way to kick it off!" But I also know the people who run it have been emotionally invested and physically invested and you know, very drained by the end of it. So I respect what you do and appreciate what you guys do.
Thank you.
But I suspect it also comes from a passion.
Yes. In 2000, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. I was a senior in high school, and so she went through treatment that year, and just an emotional year all around for us, and especially my freshman year of college, just dealing with that whole stress of that situation, but it just became part of our family, and we just wanted to support and give back as much as we could. So we have been involved kind of with breast cancer awareness research and giving back and all of those with the Komen Foundation for a while as a family. And then when the race came here, I was kind of just drawn to it and wanted to get involved. So.
And Sarah, what has been your connection? What makes you passionate about this cause?
When I was 28, one of my very best friends was diagnosed with breast cancer. We were sorority sisters together, and she was one of the youngest people I'd ever heard of being diagnosed with breast cancer. It was caught early. She actually, that year of her treatment, was one of the honorary survivors for the race in Birmingham. I participated in that, and that was kind of what sparked my passion for Susan G. Komen. The same year, my step-grandmother, who was really my grandmother, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And she went into remission. A few years later, she was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer. And there's not a cure for metastatic breast cancer, and she passed away. That has really impacted me, her struggle and our family's struggle through all of that. And knowing that my story is not unique. There are so many men and women out there who have lost family members, who have friends, who have lost dear friends to this disease. And I would love to see what I do for Susan G. Komen go away, not have to fundraise to end breast cancer. I want to bring that about.
That would be the ultimate ending that I think we would all love to see, because there are precious few people who probably have not had a loved one, or certainly someone they're close to, impacted by breast cancer. So the awareness that you guys bring is appreciated in Northeast Arkansas, and this event that is really multiple events is something that's really great for Jonesboro and the whole region. And as I say the events, can you tell us a little bit about what all the events are? There's one called Ladies Who Launch. Now, I'm assuming that's not shot out of a cannon.
I mean, I'd love to put on the
You would
helmet.
do that,
I would
wouldn't
do
you?
it. Can we close down Main Street and do that?
I think so.
Let's get a pink cannon.
Yes.
Yes.
Once she goes and is safe and secure and everything checks out, then I will. I'll go next.
I is worried. She's worried about the repercussions. I respect that. So, what
no
is
cannon.
Ladies Who Launch?
Ladies Who Launch is our kickoff event for the race season. We're 6 months out from the Race for the Cure at the end of April, and it is where all of our committee chairs come together and we begin our drive for volunteers to run the race, because Hidda and I can do a lot, but it takes the entire community, all 18 counties that Northeast Arkansas, the area for Susan G. Komen. It takes volunteers from every part of that to make this race happen. Thousands of volunteers with the thousands of participants. So we start our drive for volunteers, and along with volunteers comes fundraising.
Right.
Right, and so that's what we do. We talk about our goal for the year and what we hope people are able to do with Race for the Cure, starting in late October, going into November, and then January hits, and the 4 months away from the race, and we really start to see our efforts ramp up. And so we kick it off with a great party.
It is. It's
Ladies
gonna be
Who
a
Launch.
wonderful party. It's going to be Tuesday afternoon, or early evening, and just getting everybody excited about the race season, and getting volunteers, like she said, from just across Northeast Arkansas, not just Jonesboro. We want this race to really be a part of all of Northeast Arkansas, and have volunteers from a lot of our counties that we support with the Susan G. Komen Foundation. So we want them to be involved and make it their race as well, not just a Jonesboro race.
Right. Well, and that's what fascinates me a little bit about your job. I guess I would be highly intimidated if I had it. Where do you begin? I mean, what's the responsibility as you take on this task? I guess you get it 1 year at a time, right?
Since I had been working with the race for the last several years, I've kind of each year took on a little bit more responsibility, and so been aware of all of the responsibilities, and now just kind of organizing the chair, which I could not do this without the committee chairs that take on individual responsibilities, and they have their own volunteers and their own committee members, which allow us all to kind of work together, and it's not all falling on one person's shoulders. But I have a wonderful support team. I'm looking forward to just checking off one thing at a time with our list. But some of the big things that I do with my job is we oversee fundraising, of course, and sponsorships for the race. We work really intensely with ASU, since they are where we host our race each year.
Right.
They have been fabulous with anything we normally ask. Yes, we'll make it happen. We don't know, but we'll try to get there and make it happen. So, and they haven't let us down yet. And then just from the makeup of in-kind donations, from balloons all the way up to the founding sponsorships and all of those, every single person that is in between.
Right.
I kind of oversee the chairs that oversee those in their committees. So it's daunting sometimes, but then I have wonderful support here, and Little Rock has been a fabulous support as well, so it's not as daunting.
And Sarah, your position is a full-time job that has not existed in Jonesboro until now.
Correct.
Tell us how it came about and how you got into it.
The race director has been a part-time position for the last 3 years, and every year the race has raised more and more and more funds. It's really amazing what we're doing here in Northeast Arkansas versus what's happening nationally with Komen. It's wonderful to see that outpouring of support for the women and men that have been diagnosed with breast cancer. And with the responsibility of that fundraising and the overwhelming scope of Race for the Cure, it was determined that raising over 300, what was our number last year? In 2018 was $377,000.
Wow.
And more than $250,000 of that stayed here in Northeast Arkansas.
Wonderful.
2019 raised $425,000.
Wow.
Yes, and 75% of that will stay here in Northeast Arkansas. And with that grant money being awarded to so many providers in Northeast Arkansas, it was determined that a full-time person was needed to oversee
Sure.
that money and make sure that our providers have the support they need from Komen through educational resources and just a partnership. That's where I came in.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well,
We're lucky to have her.
Absolutely. But we're lucky to have both of you ladies. And the thing that strikes me is Race for the Cure is so perfectly named because it's not just a race for a cure. It's not just a race. It's awareness to make sure everyone gets checked and fights this disease. What do we have? Do we know the breast cancer rate?
In 2016, Susan G. Komen created their bold goal. In 2016, 41,000 people died of breast cancer, men and women combined.
Mm-hmm.
The bold goal is to cut that number in half by 2026. So 3 years into that goal, we are seeing that number go down. And that's including metastatic breast cancer. So your traditional breast cancer and then your metastatic breast cancer cases are combined. And we're starting to see the research that Komen supports. And 25% of the funds raised by our Race for the Cure goes into research. 75% of it stays locally, 25% of it goes into research. It's amazing to see that bold goal beginning to take hold and take root. In 2018, I believe, around 40,000 people died.
My goodness.
So just a small decrease, and those are people who, that was the national number compared to those who have been participating in the Komen research.
But with a growing population, that is important.
Yes.
Change. So
It is.
You're doing important work and good work. Hidda, tell me about your participation. You said you've done this as a volunteer for a few years, and it's clearly had a good impact on it. You feel good about what you did, and you feel good about what you saw. And if you've been to the Race for the Cure, you get it. I mean, it's a fun time, and it's uplifting because so many people are families. Some people are actually racing, but some are running, walking, pushing baby strollers, wearing, fun costumes
outfits,
and everything. Tell us, just give me some of your favorite anecdotes.
Well, always one of the favorites of the race route, and we have a committee that works on the race route entertainment. Always one of the favorites is the Jonesboro Fire Department that throws beads off of their fire truck, and that always has people stopped in the middle of the race route, and so that always has people stopped and just having a good time. And then we have bands throughout. I think just the atmosphere, I don't get to be out there in it as much, but just the pictures and the videos that I've seen of just everybody having a good time and supporting such a wonderful cause is probably my favorite. Just seeing the smiles on the faces of the survivors when they come through, those that are still struggling and those that are still in the fight right now, and those wearing shirts that are in honor of the people that they love that have either lost their fight or are struggling and fighting right now. Those are my favorite things about the race day. Even though it's stressful, the whole season a little bit is, stressful. I have to stop and think that is the best time. I just stop and watch them as they come through the finish line, and that's what keeps me going.
And there is special, I don't know if special event is the right word, but there's special attention or a special respect given to the survivors and those dealing with the illness right now.
Yes. So the race starts with a parade of just the survivors from each county that Northeast Arkansas, the 18 counties that are represented for our race, and they have special recognition. They're the only ones that wear pink. Everyone else, even if they wear like a pink tutu or pink socks or a pink headband or all kinds of things that we've seen. Those are just the tame ones for this interview.
I'm sure.
So even though they have pink accents on their shirts and things, we reserve pink just for the survivors so that they have that special recognition, so that anyone that sees them before, after, all of those things, they know that they're the people that we're honoring,
right?
And
Very
they're the
nice.
people that we're doing this for. So they have that recognition race day. So
Okay. Very nice. So what are the key dates that people need to be aware of? And
All right. Are we ready for it?
Oh, we
Okay.
are.
So
this is our first time.
This is our first
the first
time.
time to
Oh,
announce it.
to
Yes.
announce it?
You are getting an exclusive.
This
Yeah.
is we're breaking news here on Let's Talk
It is.
Jonesboro.
April 25th, 2020.
April 25th. Mark it.
Yes.
All right.
Put it down.
And
Highlight it with your pink highlighter.
that's the race. It will start at the football stadium at
course.
Arkansas State University,
And it will end at the football stadium
and it will
on the
end
field.
in the football stadium.
Yes, running down that hill onto the field is one of the most amazing things I've ever experienced.
You don't have to get tackled.
No, you don't have to get
No.
tackled.
Can if you want to.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can dump, some
Around.
water
Get
jugs
some-
on you.
Sure.
If that's what you want, you can make it happen.
And but it's we have probably close to what 4,000 or 5,000 people every year that have done this in the past.
It's close to 4,000
Okay.
people.
And our goal is to get it closer to 5,000 this year.
That's
Yes.
fabulous. That's fabulous. If you haven't done it, it's just an uplifting time. It'll surprise you. It will surprise you when you get out there how much fun it is and the good feelings among everyone as you're doing it. It's really worth your morning. What time of day does it start?
9 a.m.
In the morning. Get up.
Well,
So-
if you want to come for
The Survivor Parade.
Survivor
That's
Parade,
right.
the Survivor Parade really is where it kind of all starts, and that starts at 7. I mean, 8.
8.
Sorry, 7 is the Survivor Breakfast. We provide breakfast for all our survivors, and then they are escorted down by the football and the athletics department, all the players, down to the field for the Survivor Parade, which is worth coming and being there at 8 o'clock for.
That's fabulous.
Yes, and then the race itself starts at 9.
Okay. Now, say I want to make a contribution. I want to volunteer. Who do I contact and how do I go about it?
So you would contact me or
Okay.
Hidda, either one of us. And then our website is komen.org, and then that will lead you to the Arkansas affiliate. You can also, from there, find the Northeast Arkansas chapter,
Okay.
and that can put you in contact with us as well. Our fundraising website will go live in January.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful.
But don't let that hold you back from doing fundraisers beforehand, and then all of that will go into the big pot.
That's wonderful. Hidda, Sarah, it's wonderful to have you. Sarah, can you please sign us off?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for joining us for Let's Talk Jonesboro. I'm Sarah Tipton, joined with Hidda Spencer and the inimitable Bill Campbell.
I don't even know what that means, but I love it. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.